Like a drug that loses its potency, female freedom truly has an expiry date. They lose their prime when it's past their time. If you stop to think about it and observe the men and women around you, you'll see that more and more men desire long-term, committed relationships with women, while more and more women desire monkey branches with other men in order to maintain their hypergamous tendencies and spend time with one man before moving on to the next. One must keep in mind that on average, a woman is a surgeon by trade because they are skilled in performing surgery on your income or the removal of your wallet and resources while you are sedated with a drug called testosterone. It's amazing how modern women line up when you have a successful career and plenty of money. You could have a chance if the laws ever change. However, not now, not even soon. There is one thing that genuinely connects all people, and it has endured many situations to show that it will never change. It is a natural law of people. The position of men and women in society is governed by an absolute rule. The truth can only be what nature wants for men and women, their reasons for living, their long-term purpose, and how they spend their lives, no matter what society or mankind becomes. There are certain things that were meant to be. Truth is, women 30 and above are hitting the wall and freaking out about having to deal with a smaller pool of men who want to be with them. For contemporary women, the figures are worthless. You might think they're crazy when you read their internet worries about how older gentlemen prefer younger ladies or just being alone. They feel we are speaking from an ideological standpoint, which is obviously not the case, but they are misinformed. Men are straightforward creatures who only seek your respect, love, and affection. On the other hand, women constantly want the very best from every male. Despite all the rhetoric about equality, they don't actually try to achieve it. Women demand the complete package from a man. An average woman wants a tall, handsome, wealthy, and attractive man. However, she typically needs to work on and improve her inner beauty, her personality, and character. In the end, what is on the inside ultimately manifests on the outside, and most of the time, this results in an entitled and ungrateful person who is self-centered and demands that the man grant her every wish for the rest of his life. When you come to think of it, feminism has almost trapped women in its extremisms, while freeing men in the sense that they now know how fragmented women really care about how they want to live their lives. Why? Women are disproportionately represented in undervalued occupations, are familiar with the harsh realities of the job market, and most importantly, find it dreadful to think of growing old. Even though this last statement is quite telling, the majority of women find it difficult to accept it because of their social conditioning. Schools, the media, and the entertainment sector actively urge women to put off getting married and starting a family while concurrently encouraging them to pursue other objectives such as pursuing an education, a career, or even many partners. However, the increase in lonely, leftover women is alarming in the West because it reveals two crucial facts. 1. In their 20s, when they are most fertile and have the energy to become mothers and raise their children, women are not getting married, dating, or settling down with males. Instead, they are pursuing corporate ambitions and pandering to CEOs and executives in order to enter the insane rat race and advance their careers. 2. It reveals that males are currently reluctant to approach women since most are unapproachable and do not wish to start their own kids. The extreme feminine ideology, which encourages women to pursue jobs rather than being moms and wives and spending their lives in luxury, free from the rat race, and content with a life of providing for and nurturing their children, is to blame for both of these issues. I know you guys care about the numbers, even though they don't. Older women are generally unhappy with their lives. The prize for the unhappiest person goes to single, career-oriented women who are roughly 42 years old. They can earn around $100,000 a year, but they're still not content and satisfied with their lives. By the way, this data was taken from a publication dedicated to women. On the other hand, a married man with a decent job and a nice partner is the happiest. Furthermore, according to the same article, A married man aged 39 with one child, a wife who works part-time, and a household income of between $150,000 and $250,000 is the happiest person. See the difference here? The fact that this woman's magazine validates what we already know about leftover women is really telling, even if the story doesn't take into account single guys making so much money. Women are unhappier than ever due to the struggle for women's liberation, particularly in the personal and financial spheres. Modern women are free to express their opinions on the intimacy revolution, prostitution, and their freedom to be stigma-free. MGTOW doesn't even invite this kind of woman into their lives. They simply don't invite any women. The paradox of falling female happiness between 1970 and 2005 is an actual phrase that has been used by economists. Women's happiness has substantially decreased. These ladies don't actually know what they're talking about when they discuss patriarchy and male privilege. Men aren't good for nothing, and women can do it all by themselves are just a few of the phrases from the new religion known as wokeism that they used to recite on their early broken recordings. We don't require any men. I am entitled to choose whoever I want to sleep with. Men are oppressors, etc. Modern women who chose a profession in school over getting married are obnoxious, intolerable, and poor dating candidates since they are so predictable with their thinking. They've been given the myth that they can climb the corporate ladders in their 20s, have a successful profession, have several guys hit on them, and finally settle down in their mid-30s, despite the fact that they believe that this helps them have respectable savings and know themselves better. The truth is different, though. Leftover women live financially irresponsible lives for the most part. Women overspend, live paycheck to paycheck, and have so much emotional baggage that their ability to attach as a couple is permanently lost. They turn to antidepressants and other legal drugs like alcohol and cigarettes when they are in their mid-30s and early 40s and have trouble finding a man who truly wants them as a mate. However, this does not imply that men pay them no attention. Some males will thirst for any woman out there, no matter what sort they are. She becomes more manly the more marriages and children she has. If I had to sum up how the remaining women think, I'd say ideology triumphs over biology. They ridicule guys, demonize them, and treat them with total disdain. Here are a few additional facts in case they still need them. When women have over 10 intimate partners, their desire to get married to a man is little more than a last-ditch effort. Pair bonding is virtually impossible, and research indicates that she probably contains DNA from several guys. Let me put it this way. Would you want some other guy's DNA in your child? A person will always be shaped by their family's environment. The woman is likely to be more damaged than a conventional woman raised in a healthy home if the social conditioning is coupled with the absence of a good mother figure or with the presence of a promiscuous or toxic mother. It's like going back in time, and I mean the golden times, if you ever come across conventional women. Sadly, they are not very common. Even if they don't behave like it or don't have the qualities for it, leftover women and modern women as a whole desire to be treated like traditional ladies. They presumably never understood the meaning of the saying, "You can't have your cake and eat it too." Single and older women are not ideal for relationships. Even honorable women are aware of this terrible reality and openly admit that they prefer being correct and domineering to being happy. The remaining women delay having children, like imposing their ideals while spreading the gospel of tolerance and freedom, and feel oppressed simply for being female. They rarely acknowledge the fact that being a woman is far more advantageous than being a man. Why? Well, because a beautiful woman is far more dangerous than a handsome man. A woman has multiple people in society to look after her. Men don't. A woman is naturally a source of comfort, pleasure, and warmth. Men aren't. And women are far more persuasive than men, so they can manipulate people easily and have it their way. Modern women did everything they could to capture and have the essence of power they thought would make them happy by working the corporate ladder up until their 40s, but realized a little too late that they had a natural need to nurture families, settle down, have a loving relationship with men, and become good mothers and caregivers. And now that they've been inundated with feminist doctrine, they can't even confess that they should have taken the conventional route and lived in accordance with their feminine nature. Maybe in the coming generations, women will start to prefer playing the traditional gender role and learn how content they can be. We are just left waiting to see. Women may thus need to reconsider their priorities, especially the younger generations who are being taught by strong feminist ideology to pursue their own interests and professions at the expense of their families. One thing is for certain. Once they finished climbing those corporate job ladders without having a family, the cycle will continue, leaving these women feeling alone and unable to meet men. Today, there are more leftover women than ever before in the world. And I think it will only stop when young women see how false the ideologies they are currently clinging to are, how they are obstructing their ability to experience true happiness, which lies in being true to their feminine nature and being nurturers of their families, rather than strong, independent career. As I said before, women 30 and above are hitting the wall and freaking out about having to deal with a smaller pool of men who want to be with them. And with every passing year, their chances of finding a man are looking lesser than ever, making them miserable and lonelier, closer to the expiry of their prime. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. And let us know your thoughts on this in the comments. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.